Stadium in Tampa. For the call of this one, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Mexico City Diablos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They're back home after flying to and losing in London last weekend.
Always a tough travel week. All the distractions. You know that they're happy to be back in their own building, but that was not a trip to remember.
Meanwhile, from Mexico City, our visitors, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. Wonder if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard a few times growing up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Carr going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fields. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 65 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
First down, here's the run with Peterson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, but still a few chain links short, it appears, with 4th down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll go with the keeper. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage. Sets
him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. For Kidder here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Adams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Joey Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
That one goes for 24 yards. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
And they'll run it here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spelling them in the offensive backfield.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They start on the ground with Adams. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
You miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. To the right side, and he's got Moore complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
To throw, it's Carr, and that is incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
And he'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And before they can get set settled in here. Time expires on the first quarter of action. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop to throw. Catch made right side by Wilson. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Kendall Beckwith not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll look to throw here. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step
under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Sean Lee in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, it's Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here comes the defensive unit now for the Buccaneers onto the field. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And on the ground they go with a running back. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on first down. Adams. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now, we're waiting.
On 3rd down, Carr. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, How tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Get down. 185.
On 2nd down now, Adams. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. They're going to look to throw. Out to the right here to Wilson. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They give it to Peterson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. He'll drop to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end,
blitz coming, and down he goes. Levante David. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll throw now on the final play. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Parkey adds the extra point. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin down in the Big Easy. The LA Rams in town to face New Orleans, and it's the Saints who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check out the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Doug Baldwin, a touchdown reception.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Peterson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. his ability to drop a shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Tight is right. Let's tight. Tight is right. Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landing.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
All right, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue, landing.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
On second down, Adams. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
second
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. And when people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And they'll run it here with Adams. And down he'll go at the 25. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Rush taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. He's at the 30. 10, touchdown! A big play there with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll begin here with Adams, and he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Down! 180!
On 2nd down now, Adams. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Get down! Get down! 180!
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming out of that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Down! 180!
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Brian Anger now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And this offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Parkey adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you. And it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, Adams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. They'll run with Peterson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
That was AP, Adrian Peterson. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, That's a big day.
Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. His throw caught at about the 5.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And finding the tight end Wilson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off. Each defender ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On second down now, Adams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Carr now to throw, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to like what he's seen from himself so far, right, Charles? He's just looking, had a great first half, good here in the 3rd quarter, just looking to keep that going.
So what you're saying is he can't wait to watch the game film on this one, right?
He's going to like that session.
Oh, he's going to love what he sees, but he wants to finish up strong, continue to be as sharp as what we've seen in this game, and find a way to close it out with even bigger numbers. No interceptions is probably his favorite stat.
Yeah, and the 3 touchdowns, too.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Phillips. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First target, first catch, and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Hey, Leopard!
They'll look to throw now on first down, and that is incomplete here.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
4 down. Set!
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he's got this one down to the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On play action, they'll throw. He dumps it down to Ingram. And And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Looking to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And this offense is running away with this one.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now, you want it?
On 1st down, Carr. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Get down, get down.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing now is Carr. That's caught by Howard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Connor Barwin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on third down. Carr. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive.
Get down!
From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Shedding through the defense. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Here we go now.
They'll set up a throw. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there. Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Space to maneuver at the 40. Over the middle to Evans. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. On 1st down, Adams. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Get down! We're waiting!
Shotgun now for Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And here now the offense heading back out there. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Again, Peterson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
On the give, this is their fullback. And oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, they move